All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frightmare HQ here on a beautiful Saturday. What
day it is?
I don't know what's going on.
It is. Come on.
My name is. What is that?
Is it Saturday?
I think it's Saturday. Yeah, I'm not real sure. We were just talking. We didn't know what was going on.
I don't know what's going on.
My name is Loyd Cryer. I'm here with Charles Doze.
I'm Charles. But who's this crazy son of a bitch who's with us?
Right here,
who's this?
We have the always friendly and amazing Corey Taylor.
CMFT himself is joining us today, and we decided we're only talking about cake. That was his.
That's right. Everything is cake related, and I'm going full on. I'm going full press bakery. How about that?
Full press bakery.
So coming soon, CMFT the bakery. Nothing but delicate sweet treats. There we go.
I'm glad we stopped and did this because as the intro was rolling, I realized I had a thumb-sized booger sticking out of my nose that I could freak out. Dude, it was like a goddamn fish hook. It was so bad. It
was like the Blob.
So you did that during the intro. You should have waited until we went live and then just be like, "Excuse me, guys." And
oh, dude, it was a level 12 clinger that just would not let go. It is gnarly.
That's horrific, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Boogers and cake, guys. That's the name of this show now. Boogers and cake. All right, welcome, bro.
Yeah, boogers and cake.
So. I know we've been stuck in this COVID bullshit for like a year, but it doesn't seem like it slowed you down, Corey, because, you've been doing all kinds of stuff. You had your first solo album came out October of last year, right? And
yes, absolutely.
And finally, you're going back on tour soon. Finally.
Yeah. That was the big to-do. A few days ago, we decided that we were, and it was kind of funny because we started putting this little mini tour together. With the understanding that we were going to have, all the regulations, the stipulations of the mandates and the social distancing and everything together, but we didn't realize that, everything would be kind of swinging back towards the sun, which was rad. It doesn't change our approach to how the shows are going to run, but it definitely gave us a little more breathing room to go, okay, it doesn't have to be so crazy. Obviously safety is our first priority when it comes to people coming, but we can at least loosen up and feel like we're not going, really struggling against the current to try and do something cool, and the response has been great. We've had some weirdness with some of the pricing because of some of the promoters that we're trying to figure out. It's been like they've kind of taken upon themselves to get a little weird. So we're kind of behind the scenes trying to sort them out. You know how they are, dude. It gets really weird, but
freaking promoters, right?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
That's what I am. I'm a promoter, I guess, since I do this convention. But
you're one of those sons of bitches.
I am one of those bastards.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not you don't fleece.
No,
this is kind of what we're trying, what we're experiencing. So we're trying to sort that out. But you're going to have that with any tour, So we're just pleased as hell with the response. Like most of the dates have sold out already, and it's only been on sale it went on pre-sale 2 days ago, and the official day for sale was yesterday, and they've just been going crazy. So
we're hungry, man.
I'm stoked.
We're hungry. We want the music. We want something to do.
Listen, I'm handing out music like cake. It's just I'm just rip. It's everybody's birthday. Here we go.
Everybody's. What kind of cake we talking about though? Is it like chocolate cake, strawberry, vanilla?
You know what I like? I like a deep chocolate fudge cake with cream cheese frosting that just you can taste the fat. You just taste that. You just push it inside. You're just like, I'm gaining 20 pounds with every bite.
You feel it coursing through your arteries. And
I want it.
I want the cake.
This is a show about horror movies, but we've kind of went off the rails here because everybody likes cake, and who doesn't like cake?
Listen. There's two kinds of people in this world: the people who like cake and the people who are wrong. Okay, at this point, and those are pie people. That's fine. Listen, I don't judge pie people. There are definitely certain types of pie that
shut
I'm down
their pie
with.
holes.
Cake is God.
Cake is God. What? Cake is God.
Cake. You gotta say it with a deep voice, like Tim Curry is legend. Darkness, cake is gone. I'm God with my cake.
You have a really deep voice. You really do, man. I mean, it's pretty incredible. You don't hear that a lot, especially in metal, the deep metal,
Well, I mean, the cool thing is that as deep as my talking voice is, like I have a really high range. Like, so
yeah, you do.
I can play around kind of in between both. And it also lends itself to the growl for Slipknot, which is rad, I don't know why, like it's just always kind of been naturally in that deeper register. Probably smoking for 35 years didn't, help me at all. And
you don't still smoke, do you?
No, I quit over 6 years ago.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Was that a voice preservation and also health, I'm sure, but was that the main thing?
Health. It was mostly health, man. Because I mean, obviously, I was noticing there was a noticeable difference in my voice while I smoked, like towards the end, and it was just harder and harder to maintain the same conditioning and strength.
Mm-hmm.
I would blow it out like really, really quick. But then when I quit smoking, man, like it's gotten so much stronger that I'm like, God, why didn't I do this 15 years ago? It was crazy.
I need to do the same thing. I'm a smoker too, and
you're trying to get that Corey voice. You're like, I'm just gonna keep smoking some more until my voice sounds deep.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't recommend. There are other ways to do that. Like get in on the dairy. That'll add some weirdness to it.
Oh, I bet.
It will.
Drink a gallon of milk every day, and you'll get that.
Oh,
you'll also get real fat.
You'll get some sort of deep noises from somewhere else too with that much milk. Come on.
Dude, oh yeah, that'd be the call of God, like Cthulhu coming out of the bastard. It's bad.
Well, speaking of touring, I have a question. You're amping up your convention appearances, right?
Yeah, man. I actually was something that I was approached by obviously a mutual friend, Samantha Osborne.
Yeah.
She hit me up. She was like, have you any interest in doing any of this stuff? And I was like, I mean, it depends on the timing, but sure, So, and then one led to like 12, like coming out of the woodwork. It's like, we want to have you. So I'm like, it's me, right?
Right.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Not that big a fucking deal. Like, I apologize. I mean, this is as good as it gets, dude. Not getting anything extra, but it's yeah, man. I mean, obviously, Frightmare. I've been there before. I came down there for Fear Clinic and had an absolute blast, man.
Yeah, that was fun. That was freaking awesome, man. Yeah, you had so many of your fans show up.
Dude, it was ridiculous, man. Like I remember at one point, like the line just didn't end. Like it was just all the way back, and people from other tables just kept coming over and saying hi. Like D. Snyder came over, Tom Savini. Like it was crazy, dude. And I was just like,
well,
I was like, I could be in your line, dude. Like, I don't know, like this isn't, so
you're like, well, you're over here. Can you just go ahead?
Well, all of that goes hand in hand, I mean, horror fans love metal music. Yep. A lot of us do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I mean, we're into Slayer and all kinds of stuff. Is Slipknot's one of them. But what's cool about you is you're also a big horror fan. Like
Corey's like one of the biggest 80s horror fans I know because of the Search of Darkness documentary that you helped with. I mean, come on. I was like,
yeah, man. I grew up loving horror. To me, horror movies are just like comic books, man. Like it's that vision of something extraordinarily special out there, whereas comic books fill you with hope, the horror movies fill you with that tinge of I mean, like you don't know what the hell is going to happen, and I'm and I don't cut it up into genres the way people do, I mean, I look at horror the way I look at heavy metal. To me, you can chop it up into all the like tiny different micro genres and all that stuff. But to me, a horror movie is a horror movie, like don't try and call it something else because you're trying to get an Oscar. You
remember that trend, especially like back in the 80s horror movies, people would make a horror movie and they go, "Oh, it's not a horror movie. This is a psychological thriller."
It's a psychological thriller.
Suspense thriller or whatever. It's like it's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie, dude.
His hand chopped off and it's shooting blood out of the stump. That's a goddamn horror movie.
Goddamn horror movie. Well,
goddamn horror. But don't make my Southern come out. I'm not from the South, but
you turn redneck when you get mad.
Close enough, so.
That must be like a regressive gene that you turn into a redneck somewhere or something when you talk about horror movies.
When the accent comes out a little bit. I mean, it's weird because I never really had it when I was younger, but the more, the longer I stay away from Iowa, the more it comes out, which is so weird. Like, just like, I don't call it oil yet. I mean, it's still oil, it's still there. I don't know. More oil. Go get some of that more oil.
Oh.
That's Loyd over here. I can't understand what he says half the time. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Dude, sometimes I get into those, modes where I'm talking to somebody else with the same redneck accent as me.
I'm just all deer in headlights. Like,
my wife will look at me and go, "I couldn't understand a word you were saying."
I always call him Jordy from Creepshow. Remember Jordy from Creepshow?
Oh, yeah,
that's me. Yeah.
That's Loyd.
Oh, Jordy down it itch.
You lunkhead. Come on.
You lunkhead, Jordy. Meteor shit.
Oh my god! I mean, that could be the most quotable thing from that movie. Like everybody quotes, is got cool some bitch off.
We walk around here saying meteor shit all the time. I'm always like meteor shit.
Shit.
What the hell?
I love creep shows so much. We made a creep show reference when we were talking cake before we went live. We were talking about bring me my cake, Bedelia.
I want my cake, Bedelia.
Yeah.
That's gonna be we're gonna see Corey Snap. He's gonna be on tour going, "You guys bring me my damn cake yet? I ain't doing anything."
That'll be the name of the tour. Give me the cake tour.
Give me the cake tour.
So Corey, what makes a horror movie good to you?
To you.
To me?
And give us one of your favorites. Give us a couple of your favorites while you're throwing them out.
Oh, well, I mean, my top 5 are obviously the OG Halloween. There's just something so special about it. And that's just such a great memory for me. Because I saw the trailer for it before. Do you remember the Gil Gerard, Buck Rogers movie?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My mom took me to see that in lieu of Star Wars. Like, I didn't get to see
no.
He likes Star Wars, but that's not in the theaters right now, so we're just going to take him to Buck Rogers.
It's the same movie. It's the same
space movie, Like,
Tweaky.
I didn't realize that was that much silk and polyester in space.
Yeah.
It's pretty righteous,
You should remake that movie and star in it.
It was that'd be rad.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even care. It was to back up, my mom took me to see that, and the trailer for the original Halloween was on it, like that really rad one, the long one, where there's very little. It's a little bit of the music. There's some scenes, and he's kind of like stalking them. And I can remember as a 6-year-old, 5-year-old, watching that, going, I don't care about Buck Rogers, man. I want to see that movie. Like, I don't like even as a 5-year-old, dude. I was just like,
that was the day Corey became a man, everybody.
That basically, yeah.
Yeah.
The hair started growing and my voice dropped.
Yeah. He got done with that movie. He was like, "Hey, Mom, we should go watch Halloween."
As my buddies say, no Adam's, 3 Adam's apple and no nuts in my sack. That's what happened.
That's the name of the second tour.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's my spoken word tour.
Yeah.
Be like Henry Rollins up there.
Original Halloween. But then after that, man, my shit goes real gonzo. Like John Carpenter's The Thing, From Dusk Till Dawn. I still think is a underrated, amazing gonzo horror movie. Like,
it's just
nuts. To me, I can put that on and enjoy so many different things about it. Every day. I mean, just so good.
Well, it's like they start out with it's like an action heist bank robbery movie, and then it just turns you right on your head, man, and just nails you to the wall.
That, man.
Yeah,
I love that. Like, that was Edgar Wright before Edgar Wright. You know, like it was just so smart too. Like the dialogue is rad, the casting is perfect in it. Let's see, Evil Dead 2, obviously. I mean, just such a. I mean, I love all the Evil Deads, but that one. Here's a funny story about Evil Dead 2. I was at an ex-girlfriend's house when she was my girlfriend at the time, and we were like her parents were gone. We'd been waiting a week for this night to happen, right? I'm at her place. The TV's on in the background. Cinemax is on in the background, right? This is before Netflix and chill was a thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Evil Dead 2 comes on, right? I'd never seen it. It comes on Cinemax, and I'd never seen it. I'm making out, and slowly but surely, I just start ignoring her. And
like, hold on, baby. Hold on. Something's happening here.
To the point where she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, it's you know, and then she just goes to bed. I'm at her house.
You're like, get out of here.
She just goes to bed. I finished the movie and I just go, and I walked home. I mean, that was effectively the end of that relationship.
Oh, I can imagine. You blew it, brother.
It's all right.
Blew it.
She was a psychopath, man.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, who cares then?
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
It's Evil Dead 2. You had to.
It's Evil Dead 2. Listen, I got my priorities straight.
You do.
Okay? That's all that matters in life.
I'm not sure if I could. I don't know. Horror movies would definitely be up there, but that's a choice, brother. That's a choice.
Hey, we live by our choices.
Hey, and listen, there are a lot of fish in the sea. There's only one Evil Dead 2. Okay?
Only one Evil Dead 2.
That is right.
This was before streaming. This was before, you
had to wait for it to come on or run out and rent it, or it was
like we ain't doing anything from 7:30 till 9:35. Right? Two's coming on.
People nowadays don't remember the struggle of wanting to see a damn movie, but nobody could get it for you. You're like, I want to see it.
Not only that, but the struggle of trying to line that get the right unpause on the VCR because you were trying to tape it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, no, I missed the first part.
You're like, come on.
People don't understand that struggle nowadays, man.
Struggle's real.
You kids don't know how good you got it.
That's right.
Now they say, Google, play me Evil Dead 2. Google's like, I found 37 sources of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which version would you like? Would you like the Renegade cut? Would you like the Ultimate cut? Would you like the standard cut?
Would you like it in Japanese? Yes.
1080p, like just, yeah.
Dude, I tell this story a lot, but I was probably 16 when that movie came out, and it was a 17 and up only. No children admitted, strictly unrated. I got my mom to take me to that. The theater wasn't going to let me in. She raised holy hell, and they finally let me have a ticket, and I went in and watched Evil Dead 2
like,
with
that's
my
right,
mom.
guys. That's right.
Incredibly. It changed my life. I know what you mean by that movie, though. It changed my life.
It's so good. You know, and I think the last one, just because I'm in a weird mood, but the last one for me would be Dead Alive. Just because
Dead Alive.
It's
so bonkers, isn't it?
It's so bonkers, and it's so underrated. Like, if you only really know that movie if you're into horror, man. Like, people don't realize just how, man, that's a fucked up movie. Man.
I know. I feel like more people.
You're like, you didn't expect it to go that way.
It goes deep.
It's still considered to be one of the goriest movies ever made.
Oh, I love it.
And rightfully so. I mean, never mind, I don't want to give it away, but never mind the lawnmower scene.
Oh, it's different.
He's taking a piss and he spits a stone out.
Yeah.
You want to tell anyone talk about that? Like, that's just like, and you hear like, what the hell did I just watch?
I love this. I love to throw people to Peter Jackson's horror and then say, that's the guy who made Lord of the Rings. And they're like, what? I'm like, hey.
Yeah. And the sad thing about it is that movie has been out of print on Blu-ray since, I don't know, like for 10 years now. For 10 years,
yeah. Rights issues.
And they were talking about, Peter Jackson was talking about, resurrecting all these films and cleaning them up, making them pretty 4K. And put them on 4K. But then COVID happened, so I'm sure that put the kibosh on that.
Yeah.
But when those come out, that's a day one purchase for me, all of his old movies.
Dude. And Scream Factory will try and figure something out. Let's get all that stuff. They've been real good about like reissuing all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll take it from anybody at this point. Scream Factory, Arrow, Criterion.
I'll take it
a
from
Criterion
Disney.
edition.
Disney Select presents Dead Alive.
Yeah.
You're like, hold on.
Yeah.
I would love to see a G-rated version of it. Dead Alive, the cartoon.
Be the fastest movie. Opening credits, end credits. That's
93
it. That's all you get.
Dude, I'm glad you mentioned The Thing, too, because I swear, Ennio Morricone's score in that, which he doesn't get credit for a lot, is so phenomenal. And I have that
We
on,
didn't get credit for it because a lot of it sounds like John Carpenter
well, because
music.
John
It's
Carpenter
crazy.
said, make me a score that sounds like John Carpenter made it. And he's like, all right. But that movie's so great. I keep that score on, like, all the time in the house just because it's so menacing. You know, that movie is...
You know, it's so minimal. Which, I mean, a lot of John Carpenter's music was, but it enhances the tension so much because it's just so empty and so direct. It's a lot like the music from Jaws.
Yeah.
Where you get that first like that, the second you hear it, you know something bad is going to happen to someone in the water. And you're just like, eh. You know, it gives you that full body shiver. But with that, you know, it's the lack of music in those moments where you just go, oh, okay. It's almost like it's like in like every horror movie with like the quiet right before the strike.
Oh yeah,
that's what the music is for that, and that's one of the reasons why horror, good horror, amazing horror, is so dependent on the music setting the tone. Because you can, some of these movies, man, you just watch it, you watch it with no music or no, like nothing ambient or anything going on, and it just kind of feels like, meh, okay, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But then you add that element to it, and it's just so, it's the little sprinkles in the original Halloween, you know. Like everybody talks about the main theme, but they don't realize that they're hearing
the little cues.
Exactly.
Yeah, the little
boom,
boom,
high pitched one, ding.
Yeah,
you know, like the two-tone that hits when he kind of walks out of the darkness, and you hear that, and you're like, you know, you just kind of freak out.
It's like the one, I can't think of the cue, what they call it, but it's like a bass, isn't it? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I love those. I mean, those get you.
So,
you're like,
what's always got me about that, it's like it's not an absolute rule on music, because so many movies have been made better by music.
Yeah.
But then there are some movies, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that really doesn't have a soundtrack.
They don't need it, yeah.
And that movie is highly effectual.
What they have is like a noise track. If you
Right,
listen to
exactly.
Texas, there's a noise track going on, which actually, like when the first moment when she walks into the bone room, when she busts into the bone room, you could have played that completely silent. You could have done that, like that scene completely silent, but there's that almost like that buzz.
Yeah.
You know, like it's almost like it's like they tried to recreate the sound of the insects in it. You know what I'm saying? Or they just pushed the volume up because apparently that house was so nasty when
Yeah.
Dude, all they'd have to do is just mic the flies, you know, and just be like, get that, that's fine, man.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what, like, you hear that.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, I mean, it just makes you uncomfortable. And that's the whole point of it. So in a lot of ways, it's the sound design, whether it's music or the ambient noise or the crazy, just the crazy stuff kind of going on in the background, man. It's
right.
It's that attention to the detail that really kind of emphasizes what people should be expecting, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I always thought it was amazing how they came up with a lot of those sounds.
Yeah.
I know one of them in Texas Chainsaw is just like a pitchfork being dragged across a kitchen table that
that's one thing Hooper was highly inventive. They would work things out that they probably shouldn't have figured out, but they would work it out.
Yeah, I think
minimal filmmaking at its best. Right, I
think Hooper had a lot of chemical influences too. But
yeah, you might be right. I mean, he's also one of those guys that didn't get nearly the credit that he should have.
No,
never.
And it's only now posthumously that we're realizing like how good he was in so many different genres. I mean, look at Life Force.
Life Force is a great movie.
It's amazingly underrated, man. It's probably my favorite Steve Railsback movie. You know, like he's just so like Railsback's so good in that movie.
I love Railsback.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the influence that movie had on movies like oh God, Stuart. I can't think of it right now, but it's there's so influential that you go, why wasn't this huge?
Mm-hmm.
It's because it was ahead of its time. People didn't understand. They hadn't been fed things that were palatable enough for them to put it in reference.
Yeah,
because most people aren't bright.
That's true. Charles has a good story about Alice Cooper wanted to meet Tobe Hooper at one of our shows.
Yeah.
You should tell that story real quick. I love this story.
So Alice Cooper, and he wanted to go meet Tobe Hooper. So I was like, all right, we'll go talk to Tobe. So I took him to a private room, and he was like, oh, Tobe, I really love Life Force. It's such a great movie. And Tobe kind of looked blankly, and he goes, I did make Life Force. Yeah, that was in the 80s. I remember that movie.
That was my movie.
And I was just sitting there like, I don't know how to react to this conversation they're having. I was like, what's happening?
And Alice was just like...
I was just like, yeah.
Well, okay, good to meet you, Mr. Hooper.
He goes, okay, good to see you.
I'm going to get back.
Tobe was the greatest, man. Tobe was just he was always chill and just relaxed and happy, it seemed like.
Very happy. I spent a lot of time with Tobe when he did Frightmare, and it was definitely one of the high points of doing the show. He was so friendly to everybody, but also... very humble. Like, he was one of those people, kind of like George Romero, where he was like, no, why do people care about what I did? It doesn't matter. And it's like, come on.
Right, man. Yeah. That's those people, man, those are the people that you hold close to your heart, like Tom was like that. Meeting Tom Savini was like that, man.
Yeah.
So rad. Went out of his way to take me through his house and show him like the museum basically, man. And I was the biggest dick fan, just like
Tom made Loyd a Fluffy. He made him from the original mold for.
Did he really? Yeah, the original, like up in his house, man. Which is bad. Yeah.
Tom was my hero as a kid, man. That's who I wanted to be. Most kids look up to a football or a baseball hero or something. No, Tom was my man. That was my deal, man.
So you're actually working on a movie, aren't you, with Tom?
I am, yeah. We're really close right now. Like, it's.
I've been hearing about this for a couple years, and I'm like, all right, Corey, I'm ready. Give it to me, Corey.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of what it is. The movie's called Zombie versus Ninja.
Oh, it's done now. It's already great.
It is exactly as described. Like, and it's it's one of the things that I've always wanted to do is create a movie, write a movie, and then see it from soup to nuts, from pre-pro to walking the red carpet in the stand and step and repeat, and that's been one of my biggest dreams. And I've had the opportunity to really be put in touch with some great producers and a couple of I'm talking to potential directors right now. Actually, it is going to shoot this year, and yeah, man. Yeah.
Would you be interested in directing it yourself, or is that something you're not really interested in?
Well, it's not that I'm not interested. It's that I know that's not my forte. Like I'm honest enough with myself to realize that if I had wanted to be a director, I would have started learning a long time ago. And I know a lot of people with the kind of ego that they would step in and go, well, it's my blah, 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 blah. I'm not that guy. I want it to be good. I want
that's a good outlook.
To enjoy what I'm making because I want to enjoy it too, and sometimes it's the collaboration that creates something amazing. You have to be flexible enough to realize is like, I don't have the chops to do this. However, that doesn't mean there's somebody out there that does, you have to, so for me as the writer and the producer, now I can, find the right person to bring it to fruition and walk with them every step of the way as a collab, let them do their thing, but also know that in my mind, there's this idea of what I want it to be, you know, and it's a gonzo horror comedy. It's the kind of fucking movie that I've always loved and the kind of movie that I've always wanted to make, you know. And if it goes off, man, this is the beginning of something rad, you know. I don't want to make Oscar winners. I want to make fun, crazy cult classics. That's all I care about.
That's all you need. Well, you need to get. We'll bring Peter Jackson back. All right, we'll get Peter Jackson back doing horror. Can direct it.
Can we get him on as your director?
No, he needs to do it for free. He needs to do it for free for you.
Yeah, we're gonna have him do it free.
Yeah,
I mean, from your lips, dude. I'll
He'll do anything for us, man. Trust us.
I mean,
no, look, you're a horror fan, so you know how you want this to be. So I can see this being a great thing, and the fact that you've already reached out to Tom, that tells me a lot too.
The great thing is that, you know, Tom and Jason, one of his assistants.
Yeah, Jason Baker.
Jason Baker, good friend of mine. That's actually how I met Tom, man, which was rad, or got to hang out with him anyway. They were the first two that I showed the script to, and they signed on right out of the gate. Like, so they've been attached to the project since day one, and I've actually left conversations with people who I've talked to about potentially directing and producing, specifically because they wanted to move away from Tom. I was like, no, absolutely not. This is the team I have. This is the team I'm coming in with. These are the people I want to make it, because I know they get it, you know?
Right.
So it's been good to kind of stick to my guns and be able to, you know, kind of have, even though this is my first like feature, to have that kind of control, to be like, no, I have a specific vision, and I want people interested in the vision, not in, you know, taking it and turning it into something completely different, you know?
Right. Which can happen easily.
Yeah.
Easily,
man.
It'll end up on Disney, like we said. It'll be on Disney. Yeah. It'll be a cartoon show, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll use puppets.
Puppets.
I mean, nothing against puppets, but there's just not enough gore for me with puppets, man. You know?
Well, being in the position that you are, I mean, who you are, you're Corey Taylor from Slipknot. I mean, you know, it could easily just, you know, run away from you, your vision. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get those kind of people out there.
It's the same approach that you have to have with everything that you care about. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you're not passionate about, fine, go ahead. Absolutely. You know, do whatever. But if it's something that you're passionate about, man, I'm the same way with music. I'm the same way with everything that I do. If I'm passionate about it, I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that it gets made the way that I'm seeing it. You know, it doesn't mean that I'm not flexible, like I said, but at the same time, it's not enough to just put your name on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not enough to just be like, you know, Corey Taylor presents. You know, like it's not me. I'm never gonna do that. So
yeah,
you know,
we'll see. Corey Taylor presents The Little Rascals.
The Little Rascals, yeah.
Okay.
That I would turn them all into
rated R.
Like serial killers.
Yeah.
You know, like think about that. Like they'd come out of the sewers or something. Because where do they live?
Like Escape from New York.
Knows where the Little Rascals live. Like they live somewhere, man. You know?
Yeah. It'd be like that scene from Escape from New York where they all come out of the sewer. It'd be the Little Rascals. They're like,
Rascals.
Hey, Darla.
Hold on a second. I don't know if you can see it, but
yes,
it's an original Escape from New York. I used to want to be Snake Plissken so bad when I was a kid that I would run around the apartment complex that I lived with an iPad.
Oh my god!
I swear I was 10 years old, dude.
I can see that.
I feel like you should do that now. You should just come into all these interviews dressed like Snake Plissken, like with the camos on, the eye patch, and just be like, don't say anything about it. Just
rad Kurt Russell pseudo mullet. That'd be amazing.
You know? Nobody would say anything. They'd be like, do we say something? No, don't say anything to him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they would just completely so what you got going on lately? And I'm like,
so
all you say is quotes from Escape from New York the whole interview. They're like, all right, well,
yeah,
this has gone good.
Is there anything you can tell us about the movie? What was the title again?
Zombie versus Ninja.
Oh, how could I forget that?
Zombie versus Ninja is going to be the greatest movie ever. I already know from the title. Like honestly, it's one of those movies that if I saw Zombie versus Ninja, I'd be like 12 tickets right now for myself. Yeah, I don't care.
There you go. Yeah,
it's happening.
Already on. Yeah, I mean, get it on fucking Fandango or whatever. Just line it up.
Have you done any casting yet, or?
Not yet. Well, because I mean, that will probably come in. There's a couple of directors that I'm talking to right now, and what we want to do is we want to do another pass on the bones of the script to kind of explore some stuff, give them a little creative license, and let them kind of have a piece of it and expand some stuff. And I think once we do that, that's when we'll definitely get into casting and whatnot. I know we might actually be shooting in your neck of the woods, so that could be really, really rad.
Awesome.
All right. Well,
right now I don't know. I mean, everything's kind of like up in the air. All I know is that we're really starting to gain traction, man. Like I said, I mean, this has been a couple years in the making. Like this has been something that I had the idea for, and then finished the day after I got back from my honeymoon.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was rad. Me and my wife, we went off, and like the whole time I was like, oh, I got this great idea. It was a great idea. And then like we got home and I just sat down and I banged it out. And we've had a couple of punch ups here and there, but it's very much still the story that I wrote. So I'm really stoked.
Man, so are we. It sounds fun. We don't get enough of those, old school practical effects, grindhouse style horror movies. They're almost gone now.
That's something I'm really pushing is practical effects. Like we'll probably use very, very little CGI to kind of hide some stuff or accentuate, but this will be, you will see the effects. People will react to the effects. People will be covered in the blood. People will be covered in the gore. Like it's going to be real. And that's the stuff I want to see,
Yeah. What was the last movie that did that well? Was Hobo with a Shotgun. Did you ever see Hobo with a Shotgun?
Yeah, of course, man. I have it on DVD.
Directed by Jason Eisner. That movie changed my life.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that movie, like, yelling the whole time, like, yes, it exists.
Yeah. It's a great flick.
They did it. They did it.
What is it about Star Wars, too, that horror fans dig that, too? I'm a huge horror fan, but I love Star Wars, and I see you've got a couple of Star Wars posters back there.
I got it. Yeah, I've got.
Oh yeah, look at that, beautiful.
Yeah, I'm also a psychotic collector. So
hey, you're talking to the right people here.
My wife, like I've got all these movie posters just hanging, and not a lot of room to put. That's why it's sequestered to my media room, basically.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about Star Wars is that there's a darkness to it that lets people appreciate it from a horror standpoint, because you have this incredibly, I mean, at least in the first couple, this incredibly evil villain in Darth Vader.
Very dark.
He's choking people out. He's cutting people up, and then there's the gore factor, man. I mean, there's the gore from the not the bantha, but the ice monster.
Oh yeah,
the Hoth.
Well, at least
whatever
in the
he
original cut, at least in the original cut where you get the stump and whatever. I mean, there's so much that's hinted at that, and they're constantly in danger. I don't know if you think about that. I mean, they're constantly on the run. They're constantly there. There's never really any offense going on when it comes to the Rebel Alliance, except for like at the very end of the movie. Like they're constantly being chased. So maybe there's something there that subliminally people go, there's, because I mean, what's a horror movie but people, victims being chased by the killer?
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, what's a Star Wars movie but the Rebel Alliance being chased by the Empire, for God's sake?
Yeah. And it kind of boils down to a good versus evil thing, which is,
a lot of
horror movie, good versus evil, basically.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, and that's the classic tale, that's what people want to see. I mean, there's something to be said about character study and, looking at, the flaws in the gray area and whatnot. But at the end of the day, a simple story is us versus them. That's really, I mean, you try to get too deep into motive and this and that, then it takes the mystery away. We didn't need we don't need a dissertation on why this killer is doing it and this and that. I mean, you can hint at it, but I don't need that to be drawn in. Just make it cool.
Yeah.
Make it fun, make it something that people are just like on the edge of their seat, or they're just like, oh, Jesus Christ, why did they, what was that?
Right.
That's what we want, man.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why it was so important for these movies to have that kind of ambiguous, overtone. Like it's like everything's stringent, but at the same time, it's like, why do we root for the villains in horror movies? Like why are we like every time we see Jason, like, he's killing them.
He's killing her. That's my favorite horror movies, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad they're dead. It's like, thank you.
Right? Especially the annoying ones, man.
You're like, oh, she was so annoying. Stab her again, Jason. 36 times. Do it.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think we like that we pick a side and we stick with it. There's something to be said about the ones that kind of turn it on their heads, and there's something to be said about the sympathy for the devil. But at the same time, we, from an audience standpoint, you're either on one side of the line or you're not.
So I know you're going to be in a movie upcoming called Rucker, right? And you're playing a character called Taco Tuesday. What's that? Is that your name? Do you go by Taco Tuesday like on the weekends?
Well, I mean, I'm named after my mother, and she was Soft Shell Sunday.
Oh,
I was.
Is your dad Burrito Wednesday?
Listen, he was killed in Vietnam, and that makes me uncomfortable.
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, if you're just joining us, we are talking to Corey Taylor. We're chatting about horror movies. I know you guys have questions. There's already a few questions out there. But if you have some good questions, let us know. We'll try to pick a couple of the best ones and ask Corey if he'll answer it. He's kind of a private guy. He's shy.
Only cake, guys.
I
remember?
Keep everything in my close to my chest. I don't.
No.
Not known for giving anything away.
Can they talk about like cupcakes, or is it just strictly cake?
Yeah, that's a damn good question. I mean, listen, I'll take it to cupcakes, but pancakes are a lie. Okay.
All right.
Pancakes are a lie.
Pancakes are a private thing, though, for me. Like
they're
pancakes
basically
are very
just
private.
cake for breakfast. That's all a pancake is.
Well, they're not even really cake. I mean, that's just a modified waffle if you're coming at it from that point.
That's true.
Cake has frosting. Cake has, like you cut it up. Pancakes are just the pancake. Ain't nothing cake about that. Come on.
Can you put frosting on a pancake? Would it become a cake?
I don't know. Can you put frosting on a urinal cake? Is it a cake then?
I don't know. If you put frosting on anything, I'd probably eat it. I mean, I got that bad love for frosting. You'd be like, look, Charles, look at this urinal cake. I'd be like, is that buttercream?
That chocolate mint? That chocolate mint? It could be chocolate mint.
Chocolate mint.
I'm just going to lick the top, all right?
Speaking of cake, Sharknado 4, the Fourth Awakens.
The Fourth
You had a
Awakened.
cameo in Sharknado 4. How was that? That had to have been cool as hell.
It was cool when I shot it. It was the longest 8 hours of my life because they just kept me waiting all night, man. Like I finally at one point they shot it in the Strat here in Vegas, So basically, I drove down the road, because I live in Vegas.
Okay.
I didn't know you were in Vegas. My daughter lives in Vegas now. She moved out there.
Really? Yeah. It's rad town. Super cool.
She loves it.
I drove down there. They gave me, they gave me an outfit that would have fit someone about 6 times my size. I was like, I sent you my sizes. Like, what the hell is it? So
welcome to Hollywood.
I think that's one of the reasons why you never get a full body shot of me. It's really just right here.
Because your clothes are too big.
That I have got wrapped and cinched. And I mean, I look like if my son was wearing my clothes.
It's like comical.
Like, I mean, it's ridiculous, right? They kept me waiting. They kept telling me they were going to put me in like a bunch of different scenes. And then I think they just forgot that I was there. Because I ended up falling asleep in a hallway. And I've got partiers walking over my body, dude, like for real. And then finally, I kind of can't. I just was just like, this is so fucking stupid. I walked up to one of the producers and said, hey, I've been here for 7 hours. I'm going to split because this is stupid. Like, I haven't done anything. And they're like, wait, they haven't shot you? And I'm like,
oh
no!
my God.
Why the hell do you think I'm standing here talking to you? Dude, it was so, they finally stuck me in one scene with Tommy Davidson, who was so cool. Like, hanging out with him was the best part of that moment, dude.
Yeah.
He was telling me about like playing the Funny Bone in Des Moines, which is like a famous comedy store. Like, he was just like, oh yeah, man, I love this. We had so much fun. And he calls me number 8 in the movie. They changed that from the script, which was cool. It was like, that's a nice little funny thing.
Yeah.
We shot it like 3 times, and then I went home. And it was by the time I went home, the sun was coming up. I had been there since 9 p.m.
They were just like,
Lord.
hey, did you know Corey Taylor's in the hall? They're like, oh yeah, shit. Let's get something going. Like, come on.
I think their original plan was for me to get eaten by one of the sharks, which I would have been all about. But the fact that they just forgot that I was there, I was just like,
Maybe we're just too intimidating. Maybe like we don't know what to do with him. He's too hardcore for us.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, everyone on the cast, they were all amazing. You know, I mean, like everybody on the cast was super cool. They were so stoked that I was there, like really appreciative, you know? So it's like, I can't say enough nice things about everybody.
Right. Sure. But just kind of being forgotten. I think
not
they would
fun.
understand that you might have been a little miffed over that.
It also makes for a good story. It's like, you were in Sharknado. I was like, oh yeah, longest 10 seconds of my life.
I always felt like Sharknado doesn't really have a script. They just kind of shoot stuff as they come up. They're like, what do you want to do today? I don't know. Just point the camera.
I mean, and they shoot those things in like 10 days, dude. They fucking stack it. And they're like, okay, we are going to shoot scenes 21 through 145.
Yep.
And we've got 8 hours to do it. And everybody know your shit because we're not going back. Here we go. And
all right, guys.
Welcome to Hollywood.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, very much.
That's just kind of the way that Hollywood operates. It's just, I hear that all the time where people just wait and wait and wait and wait. And then they shoot, for a few seconds and they're done.
Hurry up. Like, it did go from, we're not going to need you for about 6 hours to, all right, we need to get you wrapped because we're out of money. And it was just like,
30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago. We don't have enough for urinal cakes. We're out. Come on.
yeah.
We are getting several questions, so I do want to stop and ask one. This comes from Travis Brown. He says, question for Corey, what is your favorite Slipknot mask? Because you've had several over the years.
Yeah, man, I've had a lot.
Tom made you one, didn't he?
Yeah, Tom made me one, which was really cool. I was able to manipulate and do some really cool stuff with. I'd say my favorite one probably so far was the All Hope Is Gone mask, because it was so simple, and it's kids loved it and it made adults super uncomfortable, which was absolutely, that was to me, that was like a total win. They've all been kind of near and dear to my heart. I will say that the new one that I'm working on right now it's
the shit.
It's the shit.
It's gonna blow you out.
I really.
Finally,
All right, Corey, go ahead and show us.
All right,
It'll
Corey.
be a world premiere.
No.
He's like, I'm not doing that.
Oh, I thought you were I thought you were going to force us to see it.
Do you seriously want to see it?
Will you show it? I mean, don't feel like you have to.
Yeah, you want to see it? Yeah, no, everybody get ready. This is an exclusive.
It's going to be a snake. It's going to be a Snake Plissken mask.
Ready for this?
Okay, here we go.
Snake Plissken.
I have a feeling this is a joke, y'all.
I hope it's Snake Plissken.
It's going to be like a Mickey Mouse mask.
He never comes back.
Yeah, he's gone. He's just done.
He's just out.
Uh-oh. Don't pull your pants down.
Oh, God, he's going to moon us. We're going to get mooned by Corey right here.
Oh, yeah! We love it. This is going to be awesome. I've never seen a mask like that before.
All right, guys. You heard it here first. Corey's going to be in the Mandalorian, so get ready for it.
Oh, you're in the Mandalorian. Awesome.
He is the Mandalorian, goddammit. We never see that son of a bitch. It's Corey.
Oh, if only I was in that tax bracket.
Yeah, pick the next question, Charles. Is there another one?
We've got a bunch of music.
Somebody asked about will you ever do a throwback tour and do
with your old school mask and jumpsuit. You know, I kind of like when you guys did Knotfest. Yeah,
we did that in 2012. We came back with the red coveralls.
Mm-hmm.
I had tried to bring back the dread mask, but the one that was made just wasn't great. And it just kept flying off my head. So I was like, oh, I can't wear it. You know, so I've been thinking about kind of coming back and maybe doing a mask down the road that has elements of the older one, you know, but as far as like throwback, like mask wise, I mean, it would be cool. It'd be cool for the fans. Some dude's like, this is the way. Yeah, I love that.
This is the way.
I think it'd be cool for the fans, but for me, especially when it comes to Slipknot, man, the thing that we love about Slipknot is that we're constantly looking forward. You know, that's reflected. It's reflected in the music. It's reflected in the imagery, the outfits, the evolution. At least for me and some of the guys in the band, the evolutions of our masks that change. We don't really like to look back as much as we like to look forward, you know. But now, having said that, you know, it would be something cool. Me and Clown had talked about in the past doing like wardrobe changes, where in certain songs we do a block of songs from one era and we wear, you know, the coveralls, and then from another era we wear this, but overall we're wearing the new stuff,
right?
You know? So then
people would lose their minds if you did that.
People would love that. I mean, I'd be embarrassed if I said how many times I saw Slipknot in concert. It's in the multiples. It's probably around 14 or 15, but you know, I think it's kind of one of those things, like you said. You know, we see a lot of bands nowadays who do these tours or one-off shows where they play like the entire album, like their first album, and I'm like, we've
only done that once. We did that with the Iowa album, actually. Mm-hmm. And we did that at the San Bernardino Knotfest. It was I want to say it was the 20th anniversary or something like that, or the 10th anniversary. No, it was the 20th, something like that. It wasn't the 20th because it came out in 2001. So it would have been like a certain anniversary for that album. But that was cool. That was rad. Getting to play that whole album from top to bottom was dope. Like, because some of those songs we hadn't played in forever, you know.
This was great. The one in San Bernardino, I went to that one in San Bernardino. I flew out from Dallas to go there, and it was really cool, like how you did the Knotfest, how you had a lot of the stuff up for the fans to see, like the old jumpsuits and all these artifacts. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah. That's been really fun to make it as interactive as that, you know, because at this point, man, it's so much more than a band, you know, like it's just its own world, you know. I mean, for a minute it was its own genre, for God's sakes, because we just have no limits when it comes to that stuff.
You do your own thing.
So there's so much stuff in this world that we try to share, as you know, too, because we love the fact that the fans love so much of the history. They love so much of the background and what we've done. And it's really a reflection on what, you know, just honestly, to give credit where it's due, the mind of Sean Cran. I mean, he started this band. He has always been the visionary to see what the future is, man. And I've never known another man like him. He's just got so much, like his artistic vision is incredible. His knack for knowing what's going to be cool is incredible. I've never seen anything like it, man. So to be able to collab with him has been really cool. You know, he's one of my best friends, and working with him is just so, it's so cool. I still get stoked, you know. The cool thing about Slipknot is that I still get stoked whenever I hear the music, you know, because I get sent a bunch of stuff that he and Jim and like the other guys are working on, and I'm always excited because I never know what I'm going to hear.
Oh, cool.
You know, and they get really excited because they never know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Lyrically, you know. So I think that's one of the reasons why we still do it. You know, we're still stoked because we know we're going to be surprised.
Well, see, that's amazing because how many years have you guys been working together? I mean,
I joined in 97. So it's been 24
years now.
well, to have
the band's been around since 95. So that's 26 years. I joined in 97. So yeah, 24 years.
Yeah. So to have that kind of energy for, you know, excitement to work together and come up with new things, that's
After
pretty
20,
amazing
yeah.
after all of that time.
Do you
You're
think
one of the lucky ones? I mean, because bands break up all the time because they just can't stand each other.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we've seen bands come and go in our career, you know,
Yeah.
like bands with amazing potential. And I don't know why, man, but we're all different people, and we've had problems, you know, obviously we've had issues with certain band members, and we've even people who are still in the band, you know, we don't necessarily get along the best. But at the end of the day, the common goal for us has never changed. You know, we're all still incredibly dedicated to the live show. We're incredibly dedicated to the music. We're dedicated to what we bring to the fans. And that sometimes is stronger than any friendship in a weird way, because we're family no matter what.
Right.
Friendship is a little more tenuous. But when it comes to something like this, which you can't call it a complete business, you can't call it a complete this and that, but it's something that is so incredibly bonding, and your belief in it is so strong that it makes you appreciate each other in a way that friendship really doesn't, you know? Like it's a weird dynamic, and I can't think of, there's no real word for it.
Well, it's almost like you're all working for, you know, towards that same common goal, and you know, and it's amazing that you guys can actually say, well, we're not the best of friends, but we have a common goal and we all come together and we
make it work.
Just to have that honesty that, dude, you know, we're not the best of friends.
That's what I tell Loyd all the time. I'm like, I don't like you son of a bitch, but I'm going to come do the show with you. That's it. So I know
sometimes sometimes the tension is really good for the creation, you know, but it's not like we hate each other, you know, like there are times where we all really get along, you know? And nobody celebrates a triumph the way we do, man. Like there's something stronger than blood, and I can't think of what it is.
So I know Sean has done some directing. Would you ever want to do a movie with Sean? Do you ever think that would be fun to do?
I did one. Yeah, I'm in Officer Down.
You are. Well, I guess I was trying to hint if Sean could be the Zombie versus Ninjas director that we're waiting for here.
Oh, you know, I don't know if he would even want to be that, like, goofy, for lack of a better term, you know, because he's very much an artist. So when he shoots something, he's got 12 reasons why this is happening. You know, he's one of those guys. Like, he's really good. For me, I just want to see blood hit the camera. You know, I want to see the ooze hit the camera.
Two different types of horror movies here.
I want the joke to land where it is, you know, like, so, you know, I would hate for him to dumb stuff down on his part just to work with me.
So he's going to do more of the Francis Ford Coppola horror movies.
He and I had a production company for a second that we were trying to get off the ground. And he and I work really well together when it comes to stuff like that. So, I mean, never say never in the future. I could totally see something like that. Somebody said Gorilla Glue is stronger than blood.
Yeah,
Gorilla Glue is stronger than blood. That sounds like an album name. That sounds like the name of an album. The Gorilla Glue is stronger than blood.
Yeah,
it sounds like the name of an autobiography. Like somebody.
The almost true story of Corey Taylor.
Go exotic. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah. Have you sitting very intensely on the front of the book cover in like a little mesh shirt? Like, yes, Gorilla Glue is stronger than blood.
So I'll get back to a couple of questions. I got to read this one from Sage Darkfist. First off, this person says, "I love you, Corey," all in caps with a million exclamation points. Sage Darkfist asked, "Hey Corey, big fan. What would your favorite Slipknot song be?" That's a pretty simple question, but this person loves you, so I wanted to get to the question.
Perform. Like, which one do you like to perform the most?
By far, Disaster Piece.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my dude. I lean into that tune so hard that sometimes I've blown my voice out because I just give it all on that song, and then I just go, "Well, I got nothing for the rest of this set. Oh, this is gonna go good," But that song, and I've said this since day one. It's just got so many elements that make Slipknot. It's got the crazy, just frenetic, crazy, crazy riff, blast beats, low, dark stuff, melody. I'm spitting crazy, rhythms in the verses. The ending is just, if you don't think that's heavy, then you don't know what heavy music is, man. The last breakdown is just so insane that, it's one of those songs where I could pull my own head off and kick it into the audience if I for real, and continue to sing if I could. It's just like flipping over and over, head over head. That's by far my favorite song to perform live, and every time Mick starts the intro to that song, I feel it in my chest. I'm like, oh, here we go, stretch out on this one.
Yeah,
you know what we need from Corey? We're talking about horror. Remember the '80s movie Trick or Treat? We need a remake of that.
I have the soundtrack. I have a poster. I'm
telling you, Corey could play Sammy Kerr. We're going to do this.
Oh, yeah. That's what we need. Up? Sammy Kerr right there. Resurrect Sammy Kerr.
I'm certainly not limber enough to replace the great late Tony Fields.
I
don't know. That would rule.
I'm telling you. I can see you that 80s metal get up, just getting up there.
I would go for the darkest, black metal, corpse paint, and then dress exactly like he did.
Yeah.
In that movie, dude. I would I'd work out for 6 months just to get cut, try to get rid of some of this cake fat. You know how it is.
Here's what I need. I need you to make a bumper for us as Sammy Kerr. I want you to say, I'm on Frightmare HQ. No false metal. Do it.
I can do it. You ready?
Yeah, do it.
Hello, people. This is Corey Taylor, and you're on Frightmare HQ. No false metal. Ooh, yes.
Just changed Lloyd's life right there. Now we can do this. We just got to get Gene Simmons back in it and Ozzy, and then we're good to go.
There we go.
I could do that. Nail them all, fuck them. That's a great line.
That's great, man. I thought I was watching the movie.
That's him.
I thought somebody played the audio clip.
I don't know what hit me, but I saw Corey talking. I'm like, that's goddamn Sammy Kerr. He's going to be Sammy Kerr. Watch this shit.
All right.
Doesn't he say God is an astronaut at one point?
So unabashedly into that fucking movie that my friends called me Ragman when I was a kid.
That's funny.
I had people that called me Ragman too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that, dude.
So stupid. It's stupid, right? When you think back on it, you're.
It doesn't hold up. You watch that movie again. I put that on for my son, and he was just like,
"No, Dad."
I was like, "No, wait, it's great. He kills with
music."
I love it, man. I love the movie, but you're right.
fucking love that movie. And the soundtrack is
God,
legit. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Fastway, man.
Fastway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good 80s movies like that, like Black Roses. Remember Black Roses?
Yeah, dude. Fucking it starts with Me Against the World. By
Me
Lizzie
Against the
Borden.
World,
That's
Lizzie
a
Borden.
fucking great movie, dude.
It's a great opening. Like they're all demons and singing. And everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Woo!"
That's
Demons!
You just fucking
So loud.
Dude, that's what we're missing nowadays. There's not enough rocksploitation.
Yeah, not enough
movies.
metal
We need more
rocksploitation.
rocksploitation.
I'm bringing it back.
Bring it
I'm
back.
bringing it back.
Do it.
Like Rock and Roll Nightmare when they had that weird like get up with the suspenders. Like, come on, all that stuff.
Was that
He comes out and he's like, "Hey guys, we're
that
rocking."
guy's name Thor?
Thor, yeah, I'm rocking. I'm like, I can see all of your like glistening chests. I'm like, this is what
Yeah.
we're missing in life right here.
Meredith Allen has a question. What are your favorite bands, Corey? Who inspires you? I bet this is a long list.
God, yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
You don't have to name them all. Give us one or two.
God. Well, I mean, obviously, there's the stuff that I grew up listening to. Obviously, Metallica. I mean, the big four, obviously, and thrash. All the punk stuff that I listen to. Dead Kennedys, the Damned,
Yeah.
Crystal, Flash. All the old school hip hop that I grew up listening to, because people didn't realize that when hip hop hit, it was very much like punk, man.
Mhm.
Like people didn't understand it. It came from the street and
It's
it was
rebellious.
yeah,
Yeah, very
man. I mean,
rebellious.
so listening to like old school, like obviously Run DMC, NWA,
Ice-T.
Hey, Two Live Crew.
absolutely. Oh, I
Live
didn't get
Crew.
so much into Two Live Crew as I did. Well, that's not true because I had the first Two Live Crew out.
I was like, don't say
Yeah,
it.
everybody had that. Come on, Corey. Don't deny it.
Don't deny it, Corey.
Yeah.
That's what he was listening to before he came on. I know he was there like,
So weird, right?
Yeah.
But then the Ghetto Boys, man, I was really.
Oh, yeah. Houston area rap.
But then, like, as it's gone on, I mean, one of my biggest influences is Alice in Chains.
nice.
By far. Lane I mean, I listened to so many different genres when I was growing up that I never really subscribed to one genre or another. But I think that's one of the reasons why my musical interest of what I write is so different. Like one song that I write from another is completely different. And I just kind of go with my heart, But like some of the newer stuff that I listen to, man, hip hop wise, I love City Morgue. It's Zilla Kumi and So Smola. Those dude are so rad and they're crazy. I mean, they spit the craziest shit I've ever heard.
I don't think I've heard of City Morgue.
You haven't?
I need to
We'll put some on
check that
afterwards.
out.
We'll jam some after this.
Check out Hell or High Water Volume 1. It is dark as shit and it's fucking dank. It's real good.
Yeah.
You know, a rapper that it's kind of it's a lot sillier than what you're talking about, but Necro. Do you ever listen to Necro?
Man.
Yeah, I love Necro.
Yeah, dude, he's dark.
He's crazy.
Dark. Yeah,
man.
he's nuts.
But then there's like newer bands. I love fucking not newer, but Gojira is. probably
Gojira.
one of my-
So amazing, Gojira.
They're technically just on fire.
The whole thing. I saw them live one time and whew.
Getting to tour with them, I just every day I was just sit there and just fucking watch those guys. They were so fucking good, dude. Oh, amazing.
Oh, my ears just every time I hear them, I can't understand how great they are.
You
How
can feel it in
are
your
they
body,
so
though.
great?
It like hits you. Gojira hits you. You're like, oh, Gojira. Do it.
I have a Gojira workout playlist that when I'm lifting heavy, which I'm gonna do as soon as I get off this with you guys. It's the only way I can power like through that the last set, and it's brutal.
Oh yeah,
they're so fucking good, dude.
I'm kind of with you on that because if I got to power through my day and I'm working on something, I'm like, put on the Gojira. I got another 45 minutes in me. I'm like, let's do it.
Oh, dude, yeah, and they'll fucking get you through it, man.
Well, we've been on for a while, Corey. We don't want to keep you. I know you got stuff to do. You got some Two Live Crew to listen to and some cake to eat. So
that's right.
We want to appreciate it. We always appreciate you coming on. We want to thank you for coming on and talking to us about
huge thank yous.
A bunch of random shit that has nothing to do with anything else, but that's what we do here.
Yeah,
you pretty much summed up my career there, dude.
Yeah. Well, there's so many of your fans watching. I want to say thank you to all the fans for joining us today. Victor Carrillo Romero says hello from Costa Rica. Corey, you are the best. Yeah, so you've got all kinds of people watching right now, and we just can't say thanks enough. Thank you for being such a great guy. When you came to the first show, people were just all over themselves, to meet you, and
they're excited you're coming back too.
And yeah, so we're glad to have you back. This September 10th through the 12th is the event.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, trust me, there's nothing I like more than geeking out with people who are into the same shit that I am, man. So I'm all for it,
Awesome, man.
Nice.
Well, we're going to let you get back to it. Somebody just said hello from Moscow.
Moscow.
That's
nice.
Yeah.
One of the best metal crowds ever. Moscow.
Right?
I've seen some of those concerts. They're crazy.
Oh, man. Like Moscow, St. Pete, like both are so amazing, man. They're really great fans.
South America is the same way, I hear. Huge metal.
Dude. We watched them pull the gates off of this old soccer stadium.
I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, it was fucking insane. Dude, we were like, are we gonna get killed? And I mean, it was one of the best shows we'd ever had, man. It was so killer. It was so great.
Mexico's awesome. Like that too. I know you did not visit Mexico City, and Mexico's like that. Mexico loves. I've been to Mexico City. What a great city, but they love their metal music there. It's nuts.
They really do. I mean, it's that passion, man. Like you can just feel it and the great thing about it is they don't hold it in. They fucking let it out. I think if more people let it out, metal would be the biggest fucking genre on the planet.
Yep.
There you go. Well, again, we've had you on a long time. We don't want to take up any more of your time. We are going to spend 2 days with you in September, and we're all looking forward to it. Thank you so much for coming on today, Corey.
Oh, dude, my pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you guys. All the best to the fans. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you guys in September. And everybody, be safe. Mask up. We're going to get through this. It's going to be great.
Thanks, Corey.
It's going to be badass. Thank you, Corey. If you have anything else to plug, just let us know, okay?
Throw it at us. We'll make sure we promote it for you.
Just the tour. Kicks off May 18th in Arizona. Runs through towards the last week of June, and we're gonna try and kind of get everything grinding back towards normalcy. So fingers crossed. We'll see what happens, man.
Awesome, sweet. Well, everybody, keep your eyes peeled for the upcoming tour. Make sure you head out to that.
CMFT. Buy my album. Buy the solo
CMFT,
album.
Guys.
I was like, oh yeah, I got an album out too. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
So,
it's a fantastic solo album. And
where do you recommend people go buy it? Just anywhere? As long as it's legal?
As long as it's legal.
Just buy the legal source.
Gray area these days, man, because, who says streaming is legal? So
yeah, I know, right?
There you go.
All right,
Corey. Peace out, man. Thank you very much. You have a good one.
You too, brother.
All right,
later,
bye-bye.
guys.
All right, guys, that was Corey Taylor. That was really, really awesome. Really an honor to get to chat with him today. He's a good dude, man. He loves his fans. And we know this because we've seen him in action with his fans. Our first appearance he ever did was Texas Frightmare Weekend.
Texas
as far
Frightmare
as
with Fear
conventions
Clinic
goes. So
yeah, he was great with the fans then. He loves getting to meet the fans, and it's a great environment. The conventions like this because it's a safe, organized way for people to meet fans. It's difficult at concerts because everybody's clamoring to try to do things. It's a nice, safe, organized way. And Corey, like the last time, loved meeting fans. And super awesome to get to talk to him. I know he's a humongous horror fan. He's one of the bigger ones out there. So if you haven't seen In Search of Darkness, there's actually In Search of Darkness 1 and 2. There are a couple of basically 80s horror documentaries that Corey was part of. Came out in 2019, and I think the newest one was last year, but it's like 9 hours total of interviews, and it's real cool to watch. And I think the first one's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken, so I'd recommend watching that. Super awesome to talk to him, though. I've been a Slipknot fan for a long time. I was telling Corey that I went to his first show ever in Texas back in 1999, and I was like, wait, I feel old now. It was 22
Yeah.
years ago. It's like, Lord.
So there's quite a few people on watching us today that were new. If you would, do us a favor. Whether you're new or you've been watching us, if you're on YouTube, make sure you go and hit that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm. Hit that like button, too.
And hit the like button. Do it now. We've only got like 9 likes on this video. And we could get a lot more likes on this one than that.
We're bad with telling people to do things.
Please like it. Subscribe to our channel. We'd love to see you back. If you're a horror fan, you found the right channel because we always talk about horror.
We do a weekly show, Year in Horror. So we talk about a single year every week. Then we talk about the movies that came out this year. And we've done like 40 of those now. I mean, we made it through the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 70s. I think we're going to do the 60s next.
It's looking like we're headed towards the 60s. But if you're a horror fan, please subscribe to us. Go back if you missed this. Watch the whole video from front to beginning. Corey was a lot of fun. We had a blast talking to him.
Talked about all kinds of things. Cake and movies, man. That's my
right.
life.
And also, if you're going to be in the area on April 3rd, Frightmare Collectibles, which is another part of our business, part of the business that I run, is a store here in Justin, Texas. We'd love to see you come out April 3rd and meet Dave Sheridan. Of course, he's Doofy from Scary Movie, and Felissa Rose, who played Angela in Sleepaway Camp. We're going to have several horror vendors here that day as well, so you can shop them. You can shop the Frightmare Collectibles store. You can meet and get autographs and photos and all that kind of fun stuff with our celebrity guests. There's the information. Go to Frightmare Collectibles on Facebook. Follow us there. And RSVP to the event. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this. It's been a while since I've seen Felissa in the flesh. So I can't wait to say hi to Felissa. And I get to meet Dave Sheridan.
Dave Sheridan.
I am super excited about that, Charles.
You love you some Doofy. I'm telling you.
I do love me some Doofy.
But no, it's going to be a fun event, guys. Maybe we'll all be there, all the stuff. And it's a nice... way we can get together in an organized format and enjoy some of this horror stuff in person. There's going to be a lot of vendors. If you've never been to Frightmare Collectibles, you should come down to Loyd's store. I mean, there's everything here from NECA toys to VHS to Blu-rays to housewares. I mean, everything you want here. And then on top of that, I mean, on the day of April 3rd, there'll be even more vendors here. So, I mean, we've got a lot of people selling a lot of cool stuff.
Charles will be here set up with a bunch of cool VHS tapes, too. He'll be out in the parking lot hawking his wares. He's got really cool old vintage VHS tapes. Like, he just found a Media Halloween.
Yeah, 79 Media Halloween, which, if you guys don't know how Charles does VHS, I like to take care of them. So all my VHS are cleaned and, given special treatment before they're putting up for sale. But I'm actually going to offer... that Media Halloween, which everybody wants, it's this 1979 version. It's going to be up here for sale, and I'm pretty fair with stuff, so come up here and talk if you want something.
That's right. So, again, thank you guys for joining us. Lots of folks that we recognize, lots of folks that are brand new. Welcome to all of our brand new folks, and welcome to all of our regulars.
Australia. Elm 1428 from Australia, man. It's tomorrow in Australia, so good morning to you.
We've had Australia, Moscow. What else did we have? Was Costa Rica, I believe. We've had a lot of people from all over the world joining us today to...
it's good to talk to Corey, though.
Watch us talk to Corey, exactly.
Good seeing Australia's got some really good horror movies. Ausploitation, there's a lot of really good stuff. One other show I'd like to do sometime is on... Ausploitation.
Oh, that sounds fun.
So I think we might do that soon. But if you guys like this, I mean, we do shows weekly. We also have a Patreon that we do. Our Patreon helps support the show, but we also do shows just for the Patreon. So we do individual shows. Like tomorrow, we're doing a show on Takashi Miike, right? Tomorrow,
Takashi Miike.
Yep, Takashi Miike.
So. If you like to tune in and hear people talk about horror movies and they're not pretentious or stuck up, because we're neither one of those. No. Several times when we go on the air, we have technical difficulties, but we work our way through them. So we just have fun on this show.
That's all we want to do is have fun.
That's right. So go to frightmarehq.com if you need more info about us. Thank you very much, everybody. I can't say it enough because we really are appreciative. We're dependent on viewers like yourself tuning
People
in.
who love horror. You know, we're just like you guys. We love horror and we love talking horror with everybody. So that's one reason why we do a live show and we don't do recorded shows, because we feed off your guys' comments and, you know, interactions, because this is all a community affair. You know, everybody loves these movies, so we love to chat with everybody.
That's right. All right, Charles, anything else that we need to talk about? I think we're wrapping up.
I need a beer.
I need something.
It's beer time, but yeah, other than that, I'm solid. Yeah, like I said, we're back on tomorrow for Patreon, and then we'll be back next Thursday for the last year of the 2000s, 2009, the year in horror. So, that's us.
That's it. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and sign out. Should we sign out, Charles? We just says yes.
Ooh.
All right, peace out, guys.
Which
Thank y'all for joining us. We had a absolute blast today with you and with Corey. Come back and see us.